Dear students, today in this class, I am going to discuss the laws of chemical combination under the basic concept of chemistry. Basic concept of chemistry is the first unit in +1 level. It includes the chapters from 8th, 9th and 10th portions are involved. Okay. I am Dr. Gunasthekaran, Professor of Chemistry, taking this class. Laws of chemical combination. A compound is formed by chemical combination of two or more different elements obeying certain basic laws called laws of chemical combination. Kindly follow laws of chemical combination. Actually, there are totally 5 laws are there. We are going to discuss with a suitable example. The first 4 laws correspond to chemical combination by weight. Please remember. The first 4 laws correspond to chemical combination by weight, and the 5th law correspond to chemical combination by volume. So this is the main difference you must understand. So there are 5 laws, 4 laws based on the chemical combination by weight, 1 law based on the chemical combination by volume. Okay, let me go one by one. First, let me introduce the law and the author and year. There are 5 laws I told you already. The first law, that is law of conservation of mass. This is supposed to be the first law of thermodynamics. Introduced by A.L. Lavoisier in 1785. Kindly follow. 1785. That is that is in the 18th century. The second law was introduced, that is law of definite proportion or law of constant composition, introduced by J.L. Proust in 1719, that is 1799. It was introduced. Third law, law of multiple proportions. It was introduced by John Dalton in 1808. Kindly remember, only in 1808 the term atom was introduced by Dalton. 4. Law of reciprocal proportion or law of chemical equivalence was introduced by J.B.E. Richter in 1792. And lastly, 5th law, law of gaseous volume or law of combining volume was introduced by Gay-Lussac in 1808. So, let me go one by one these laws. Why I am giving? Because in the NEET chemistry, they will give sometimes statement and they will ask what law it is. So you must memorize the definition of each law, and if suitable example is given, you must know how to analyze. Let me go for the next. The first, let me take law of conservation of mass. Mass can neither be created nor destroyed, but can only be redistributed in a chemical reaction. That is the first law. Law of conservation of mass. Very, very important law. I told you this is the first law of thermodynamics. Mass can neither be created nor destroyed, but only can be redistributed in a chemical reaction. What is chemical reaction? A chemical reaction is one where one or more reactants react to produce one or more products. So reactants react to produce one or more products. So just take the formation of water. In this case, 2 moles, that is 2 moles of H2. Kindly excuse mole, I will define later. So 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. Kindly see what is the law of conservation of mass in this case? If you calculate the weight on both sides, it will be equal. Say for example, hydrogen atomic mass 1, so 2 into 2, 4. Oxygen, that is 32. So total is 36. Total, it is 36 gram. That is for left side reactant weight, mass. When you come for water, one water molecule, the 18 grams, so two water molecules will get 36 grams. So both sides, the mass will be equal. Kindly follow. Mass can neither be created nor destroyed, but only can be redistributed. So, total, or other way I can say, total mass of the reactant is equal to total mass of the products. The same way we can explain in the case of calcium carbonate also. Now, see here, in this case, I can take the other example. In a chemical change, the total mass of the reactant is equal to total mass of the products I have already given you. So, in this case, carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. Carbon 12 gram, oxygen 32 gram, so 44 is total. Come side, right side, carbon dioxide is 44. Simply add carbon 12 gram, oxygen 16, O2 means 32. So totally it will add 44 grams in both cases equal. So this is the law of conservation of mass. I hope very clear. This is the most important. The second law of definite proportion or law of constant composition. This is the second law. This we can give a 2 or 3 ways statement. So here I am giving the 2 statements. One is, in a chemical substance, the elements are always present in definite proportion by mass. In a definite proportion by mass. What is the meaning of this sentence? Suppose in water formations, always in a chemical substance, in this case water, 2 grams of hydrogen and 16 grams of oxygen will be always present. That is definite proportion, or simply 2:1 ratio in terms of atom. 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen, that will be always. That is called definite proportion by mass. In this case, mass means 4 grams and 16 grams. That is 2 grams and 16 grams. It is the water. Kindly follow. The next one. The same compound, other definition. For the same law. The same compound, by whatever method it is prepared, always contain the same elements. Always contain the same elements. Combined together in the same fixed proportion by weight. Kindly let me repeat again. The same compound, say for example copper oxide, by whatever method it is prepared, always contains the same elements, copper and oxygen, combined together in the same fixed proportion by weight. Let me explain, you can understand now. Let me take now here, first I can take water. In a compound such as water, the ratio of mass of hydrogen to the mass of oxygen is always 1:8, the ratio, whatever source of water. Or 4 grams of hydrogen combines with 32 grams, so totally 36 grams of water. So law of definite proportion. Now let me take the another example, preparation of copper oxide. That is the second statement. Whatever method we prepared, the same compound, now the compound will contain the same element with its same definite proportion. That is the law of definite proportions. Say example, copper oxide I can prepare by decomposition of copper nitrate. By heating copper nitrate, I can get copper oxide. Kindly follow. 2 moles of copper nitrate on decomposition cube, 2 moles of copper oxide, 4 moles of NO2 and 1 mole of O2. The same way, by decomposition of copper carbonate, I am getting this is 1 mole. I am giving copper oxide 1 mole, carbon dioxide 1 mole. So in both cases, copper oxide is commonly prepared, but only the method, the starting material is different and method is different. But if you go in detail of copper oxide structure, always it is combined one atom must always undergo combination. Definite promotion. 1 atom of copper, 1 atom of oxygen, it is combining. So I will give the very clear idea in this case. Or I can simply say, if you want some more informations, so copper, the value it is 63.546 grams of copper always combines with 16 grams of oxygen. This is copper, this is oxygen. This will always combine. This is the law of definite proportion, it combines. Or in terms of percentage, if you want to give, 79.9% of copper combines with 20.1% of oxygen. I hope you have clear idea. Next, third law. Law of multiple proportions. That's what is the statement. When two elements combine to form more than one chemical compound, the different weights of one of the elements which combines with the fixed weight of the other bear a simple numerical ratio to one another. Let me repeat a bit. Please listen, my dear students. When two elements, say copper, let me say sulfur and oxygen, carbon and oxygen, when two elements combine to form more than one chemical compound, let me say carbon plus oxygen gives carbon monoxide. So suppose carbon plus I can give carbon dioxide. See, both cases two elements combine, but the different compounds are forming. So when two elements here, carbon and oxygen, combine to form more than one chemical compound, CO and CO2, carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, the different weights of the one of the element, different weights. Oxygen varies different weights, carbon is constant, which combines with the fixed weight of the other. So always carbon is 12 grams. So in the first case, 16 grams of oxygen combines. In second case, 32 grams of oxygen combines with the carbon. This is the law. Simple numerical ratio means a ratio involving a small whole number like 1:2. So in this case, 1:1. Below 1:2. This is the law. Please follow. So let me explain with more example. Kindly follow. So I told you already the example of carbon monoxide. I am giving in the form of table here. So carbon monoxide, during the formation, I am taking two element carbon oxygen. So weight of carbon 12 gram, oxygen is 16 gram, 1:1 ratio. In the case of carbon dioxide, carbon is 1 and oxygen 2, so it is 12 grams of carbon combined with 32 grams of oxygen. So ratio will be 16 plus is to 32, that is 1:2 in this case normally carbon dioxide. In the case of carbon monoxide, 1:1. Kindly follow. Right. Another example normally given. See, this is a very interesting examples. The two elements are, one is nitrogen, another is oxygen. Kindly follow. Two elements. So first case, nitrous oxide, N2O. Here, common is N2 is constant. What is variable? Oxygen is varying. Oxygen is varying. N2O, nitrous oxide, 28 grams of nitrogen combines with 16 grams. Here, 28 N2O2, nitric oxide, 28 grams of nitrogen combined with 32 grams of oxygen. In dinitrogen trioxide, here 28 grams of nitrogen combined with 48 grams of the oxygen. Dinitrogen tetroxide, 28 grams of nitrogen and 64 grams of oxygen. In dinitrogen pentoxide, 28 grams of nitrogen combined with 80 grams of oxygen. Please note the nitrogen weight is constant, it's not variable. The variable is only with the oxygen. This is the law of multiple proportions. Please follow. So the ratio may be like this: 16 is to 32 is to 48 is to 64 is to 80 here. Just see, I am putting this value, right value, 16, 32, 46. I am putting in the form of 1 is to 2 is to 3 is to 4 is to 5, like that. So always in the left side, 2 is common. So 2 is to, first case 1, then 2 is to 2, 2 is to 3, 2 is like that. It is going on varying. I hope you will have a clear idea. The next one, I'll go for the fourth law, law of reciprocal proportions or law of chemical equivalence. Again, two statements I can give. Let me do definition again. That means two different definitions for the same law. When two different elements combine separately with the same mass of third element, suppose take A, element A, it combines with B. The same element combines with C. So when two different elements B and C combine separately with the same mass of third element A, the proportion in which they do so will be the same or the same simple multiple of proportions in which they combine with each other. So when they combine, what way they combine with A, they will combine. This is the law of reciprocal proportions. I will explain another statement. That is the specific, this is. That is general, this is specific. If an element A combines with an element B, also combined with another element C, and if B and C combine themselves, the ratio by which they do so is simply related to the ratio by weight in which they combine with the fixed weight of A. Kindly follow. Just now I explained. The third definition is, this is the most important. Elements react together in the ratio of their equivalent mass. Only based on the equivalent mass, the ratio will be, they will undergo combination. So this is the law of reciprocal proportion, law of chemical equivalent mass. Kindly follow. Let me give the explanation now kindly. Suppose take A, B, C. I am taking in this case A is sodium, B is chlorine and C is hydrogen. So take now sodium A and Cl B and C which H. Kindly follow. So when sodium and chlorine combines will give sodium chloride. When sodium and hydrogen combine, they will give sodium hydride. If H and Cl combined, it will form HCl. Now look at the table. The first case sodium chloride, 23 grams of sodium combines with 35.5 grams of chlorine. The same way, same sodium 23 grams combined with the hydrogen 1 gram. Okay. Now you just combine with hydrogen and chlorine, you just see the ratio. You should combine with 1 is to 35.5. So that is the case, 1 is to 35.5. Very, very easy to understand now. So HCl will be always, the Cl will be 35.5 and the hydrogen will be 1. This is called law of reciprocal proportion or law of chemical equivalence. Kindly follow. Next, another example I want to give again. So same A, B, C here, carbon, sulfur and chlorine. So carbon disulfide, carbon tetrachloride and sulfur monochloride. Same way we can have it. So first case, 12 grams of carbon combined with 64 grams of sulfur. Second case, 12 grams of carbon combined with 142 grams of chlorine. So now sulfur monochloride, 64 grams of sulfur combined with 71 grams of correspondingly chlorine. So that is in the ratio of 2:1 chemical equivalent. Okay. Thus, 4 grams of hydrogen and 32 grams of oxygen. I am taking another example of water here to explain here. 4 grams of hydrogen plus 32 grams of oxygen to produce 36 grams of water. Or 2 grams of hydrogen and 16 grams of oxygen combined to produce 18 grams of water. That is 1 mole is equal to H2O, 18 grams. Or in the ratio 18 grams, what I will write now? 2:16 I can write. Or in terms of equivalent mass, I will write 1:8. Kindly follow. What is the interesting information? So finally it is combining in the form of equivalent mass of hydrogen, equivalent mass of oxygen undergoes combination. That is the law of chemical equivalent. Kindly follow. The fifth law of gaseous volumes or law of combining volumes. This is based on the volume. The first 4 law I informed you based on weight. So whenever gases combine, so given clearly gases combine, then that's why we are saying volume. There is a simple relationship between volumes of combining gases, and this relationship extends to the volume of the product, also provided if all the volumes of gases are measured under the same conditions of temperature and pressure. So products and volumes should be measured under the same condition of temperature and pressure. So let me explain here. So first example, 1 volume of hydrogen combines with 1 volume of chlorine to produce 2 volumes of HCl. 1 volume plus 1 volume, 2 volume. The second case, 1 volume of nitrogen combines with 3 volumes of hydrogen to produce 2 volumes of ammonia. So this is the law of combining volume. Dear students, you have understood very well the 5 laws of chemical combination. So you can say for the entire chemistry, formation of compound, this law is nothing but so. Without obeying these laws, everything will be spoiled. You cannot understand. Now, dear students, for who are preparing for NEET entrance coaching for all subjects, +1, +2 and +2 completed student repeaters, kindly visit our site vetri.s. Why? I am saying, view our achievements for the last 20 years. We got even All India first rank in 2003 by Professor Dr. R. Srinivasa Raghavan now. Our site has 50 to 60 recorded lessons in each subject, unit wise. And 50 to 60 NEET model test, each test containing 45. That means unit wise test. Please follow 45 questions in each subject including solution. So here answer will be recorded. Kindly follow. Another important information, because in all other online coaching, you can see if you go view the solution, only the typed material will be there, 2 lines or 3 lines. Here, we are providing you, just like a class, we are giving entire class like teacher will you can see the teacher, you can see the board, you can see the question and writing, everything you can hear in the online. And also another important, the most important, which is not available in other online coaching, is the view. Review a menu, it is present in our site, vetri.s. If you click review after the test, your answer and correct answer you can see. Your answer will be in blue color, correct answer will be in yellow color. And below there is a video, solution and video. If you click the video, answer will be discussed by the concerned subject professor. My dear students, So if you are interested really to get 600 plus for 720 marks in NEET, kindly pay only 10,000 rupees per year. Only 10,000 rupees per year for all subjects. You can use nearly 200 tests you have. So if you want, kindly pay in the name of Santi, Indian Bank, account number 712719471, IFC code ID IB 000P134. After paying, if you contact my number, that is, it is there in our site, it is there. So my number is 989417645. Kindly contact this number. Thank you, my dear students. We will see you in the next class. Thank you.